Craig Carton, for any of you MMA fans, used to host that MMA show. I'm trying to think of what it's called right now. Was it called MMA Live? MMA Live, is that it? Nate Corey was on there with him, Mike Straka, Luke Thomas, Overtime. It was the number one MMA show that there ever was. Ever. And even though it's off the air, it was a budgeting issue. Their ratings were through the roof. It came on 11 o'clock on Thursday nights. And the show just worked. I was on the show a couple of times. It just worked. And it largely worked because of the set. It was live, and it was at a Times Square. So it was the old TLC set. It just worked. It was this awesome energy and this awesome set that came with an enormous price tag. It was just too expensive, and they ended up canceling the show. It was biggest show ever. UFC and all these shows you hear about that are doing a great job. This was the biggest one ever. Ratings, it was just too expensive. They went off. So Craig Carton, let's go back to Craig. So Craig is the host of the show. Host of the biggest MMA show ever. Well, Craig had never seen an MMA fight. Zero, none. Had never seen one. And this wasn't advertised, but he would tell us, behind the scenes, he told this story that I'm about to tell you right now. So he'd never seen one, and then once he became the host of the biggest MMA show of all time, now he refused to watch MMA because he loved to be able to tell people, I've never seen MMA, and here I am, the host of this big show. So here's what happened. The Ultimate Fighter was on Spike back then. When the UFC would do their shows, like you guys are familiar with the FS1 product, that same thing was going on. It was just on a different channel. It was over on Spike. So Dana White was the guest one day. And Dana's in a studio in Las Vegas, and they're going to do it by satellite. And whoever it was that was supposed to host that day didn't show up. Called in sick or traffic, whatever the hell happened, they weren't there. So the people at Spike go and grab Craig Carton and say, hey, you got to sit down and do this interview with Dana White. And Craig's looking around going, who's Dana White? What am I going to do? And they go, hey, it doesn't matter. He's waiting, and we got to have this content. You're the guy. So Craig says, okay. So he pops down in the chair. He doesn't know anything to ask Dana White because he doesn't know who he is or what this isn't what he does. So Craig sits down in the chair, and he goes, so Dana, how much are you benching these days? So Dana answers the question. Dana's a workout guy. So Dana answers the question. Well, I'm doing reps. I got about, 220. Whatever the answer was, it doesn't matter. Craig keeps going with these kind of questions. Just ridiculous. They had nothing to do with the upcoming pay-per-view or fights or the ultimate. They had nothing to do with anything. They were just these fun questions. Well, when the interview ends, Dana goes crazy. He loves it. Dana calls Spike up and says, that's the guy. That's the only guy I want to talk to from now on. Those first time in my career, I'm asked these questions that they were fun. Dana loved it. So Craig became the guy. Spike goes to Craig. It's like, hey, you're the new guy for anything that involves UFC or Dana White. And Craig's going, for what? For asking the guy how much he could bench? And they're like, yes. Dana loved it. So Craig goes into negotiations, ends up with $20,000 a week to host this show, $80,000, gets this huge contract. Never saw a UFC fight. I'm looking at Craig. He's on the monitor right now. I thought you guys might enjoy that story.